Thank you. Do I get to say something?
Sure.
All right.
But can I take a picture of you guys first?
Yeah.
Before you decide it? So it could be like 20 minutes, right? I'm kidding. That's my speeches.
In all seriousness, and I was joking because I don't know if I'm really deserving of such an honor, but SABA's been such a great and instrumental part of my career. It's like funny that I'm getting the Cornerstone award because SABA's sort of been the cornerstone for my career. From the start, like when I first was starting to get looking for jobs, to when I was building the practice, to looking for employees, to looking for clients, to growing, dealing with internal struggles, SABA was there from the start. And so I'm truly appreciative of like the entire organization for what they've done and where they've gotten me and the Seva Law Firm, like, because I wouldn't be here without SABA. And I kind of just want to tell you like how I first got involved. So when I first returned to Michigan after law school, I was, kind of just trying to find connections to get my first few jobs. And the first person I contacted was Mahesh because randomly I had met this guy a couple years earlier because I was a summer associate at his corporate firm where he was a partner. And we didn't know each other. We really didn't even interact with each other that much, but he saw that I was struggling because I was a 1L. I was placed there through a scholarship program, and I didn't really, I was a terrible associate. I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't know how to interact with other lawyers. I didn't know how to really do anything, like what you would expect from a 1L. And Mahesh, saw me from afar and kind of recognized, I was struggling. He took me out to lunch. He, several times, told me what I should and shouldn't be doing. Told me how a lawyer is supposed to, act and interact with people, and just took me under his wing and really mentored me. He was my first mentor. And so from that point on, I was like, if I ever get to a level of success where I can help other people, I want to do the same thing. And it's very random because I ran into Mahesh on Saturday at Big Rock, unplanned. It was his birthday, and he said, "Make sure you shout me out." And I was like, "Ha ha ha!" And
it's the Mahesh Nayak Cornerstone.
Yeah. Oh, and then,
His picture on that.
So he was joking with me "You better shout me out." And I was thinking, as soon as I heard that I was going to get the Cornerstone award, I was thinking, that's the guy I got to thank first. And so I appreciate you, Mahesh. And I really do think this should be the Mahesh Nayak Cornerstone.
I told you.
You relax.
2026, somebody should nominate Mahesh.
Yeah. So when I got into SABA because of Mahesh, and then within a year, they asked me to be on the board as a communications director. From there, a year later, I was the vice president, and then a year after that, I was the first two-term president. And it was then when we first started this wine tasting event. So during my second term, we thought about how do we want to do this wine tasting. We talked about it a lot. And the first wine tasting was an absolute shit show. It was like a comedy of errors. So the first thing we did, we spent a lot of time trying to figure out where we want to have it, and it was somewhere in Birmingham, I think. What's the name of that place? Tallulah, yeah.
I was there, I remember.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about it for a second. Okay, all right. So that's about as embarrassing as it gets, or so I thought. Also at that event, at the end, we were all having a lot of fun, and we were just talking about how all this happened, and we want to do it again every year. And I remember I was talking to a bunch of people, and Navita was there, and I was talking to Navita, and then all of a sudden I started smelling something. I was like, what is that smell? And then we were all like, yeah, what is that? And then all of a sudden I was like, Navita, your hair is on fire. So Navita's hair caught on fire at our very first wine tasting event. And so, yeah, that was how our first wine tasting went. We sort of fell off for a little bit, but Ashita's done such an amazing job of getting us back into that, and Hina as well, getting us back into community service. And I hope that we continue to do more and more community service because that's really part of our culture, right? So we're getting there. And then the other thing I really wanted to focus on as the president, when I was president, was increasing our stature and prominence in the legal industry. as South Asians, because when we first came in, it was rough. I mean, Mahesh was a groundbreaker. He kind of set the stage for a lot of us, but it wasn't easy. Like when I was applying for jobs with a last name like mine, and I'm sure all of you have encountered this, it's just not easy. And I once tried, when I was applying for jobs, shortening my name from 70 Nathan just to Nathan, and I started getting so many more calls for interviews. And it shouldn't be like that, right? We should not have to do that to get to where we want to be. And so my vision, and I think we're starting to achieve that, is we want to be able to be who we are, have others in the legal industry understand that because you're South Asian doesn't mean that you need to be a doctor, you need to be an engineer. You can be a lawyer and you can achieve whatever you want as an attorney. And I think we've done a really good job at that. And I think we've also done a really good job of inspiring the next generation. And I want this board that's currently here to continue that and make sure that we support the next generation of South Asian attorneys. I see like some of the kids that are here, like our kids now want to be lawyers. Like that wasn't a thing when we were growing up. And it's exciting to see that, and you don't have to be pushed into the engineering and doctor field like what our parents did. This is now a viable profession, and it's very important. What we do is very important, and so SABA has helped all of that happen. And the last thing I want to say, I know I've been rambling for a while, but the thing I love, what's up?
So I told you 20 minutes.
It has been close to 20 minutes.
No, as a typical attorney, you said, like, do I get to speak?
Yeah, right.
So for intermission, it's gonna start. But the other thing that I have really appreciated about SABA is just the family that like has come from this. For me, and I think like every generation of attorneys that's gonna come through here, hopefully we'll have the same like level of closeness and family feel that I have had. Like I've been to weddings for you guys, for family graduation parties. Like a lot of you guys were at my 40th, and I was at your 40th and your 50th, and Mahesh's 80th or whatever. And that's kind of when I was I once like coached Mahesh's daughters, and then eventually they came to work for me for several years in multiple different positions. And then like a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, it came full circle that I ended up drinking at Maya's tailgate at U of M. So it's like we've been there from the start to the finish. Me and Sadi, we do everything together as far as we go to Pistons tickets together, we play soccer together, we do everything, and like there's so much of that's going on here, and I hope that the next generation also has the same. So I thank all of you, and of course, personally I gotta thank most is my lovely wife, who has helped build this more than anything else, helped build me to where I am and my firm to where we are. So thank you so much for this, and SABA, thank you.